CivilGear here. Today I'm talking about Nitecore's HA40 headlamp. It's a 4x AA headlamp with 1,000 lumens. I'll be going over the user interface and some features of the light, some things I like and observations I've made. For a full review, check out the links below to my site for more pictures and thoughts. So with that, we'll get started. I'll first talk about the user interface. It's similar to the HC30 and 33 headlamps. One of my favorite UIs. It's quick to turn on, quick to cycle, and then you hold to turn off. So to begin, you use a single tap to turn into low. So it's sort of a shortcut mode to low. And then single taps after that, change the brightness going up to turbo, and then back down to kind of ultra low. And then tap and hold to turn off. And for mode memory, tap and hold and it'll bring back where you were last. To get shortcut to turbo, you tap and hold, that's the mode memory, and then you keep holding it and then boost it up to turbo. So that's the primary outputs, the steady constant ones. For the hidden modes, you double tap the button and it goes into what Nitecore calls strobe, but it's actually like a 1-second flash, kind of like a warning light, and a single tap moves it to SOS, and the next one is beacon mode. Single tap cycles at the beginning, click and hold to turn off. So that's the user interface, pretty easy, one of my favorites. Yeah, so a little bit about the light. You've seen the head, which has the diecast construction. It's got these nice kind of heat sink style fins. And so it's been great with heat dissipation, and its automatic temperature regulator keeps it at 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And in my tests, I've confirmed that it doesn't go above that. So the light's connected to this battery pack that's connected to the head strap. Goes in the back. So there's plenty of styles like this. This is Nitecore's first style with the mounted battery pack. And it's just covered by this rubber boot. This cover just pulls right off. It's still attached through the cord, so you don't ever lose it, so that's kind of nice. Got myself some end loops. I would definitely recommend getting rechargeable nickel metal hydride for these high drain devices. All the contacts are gold plated, and those just pop right in. And those seat really well, they don't rattle around. And it just kind of goes back on top. It doesn't have the super waterproof rating since it's just kind of a peel back cover, but it does have pretty high for, it's for jets of water, I think it is. And then they're connected by this pretty thick power cable, so I'm not worried about pinching it or crimping the wire, so that's good. And this stretches really well. It's very resilient. It comes back to its shape, held by a couple of clips here. But yeah, one thing I have noticed is that the mounts are a little bit different plastic than I've seen from Nitecore. This one's a little bit thinner and can kind of bend a bit, and the corners are a tad on the sharp side. They haven't really scratched me, but they've caught the headband a little bit. As I tried to adjust it, you can kind of see that it's caught in some places. But once you get it in the place you like it, it stays there pretty nicely. So yeah, and then it's got the over the head strap. Definitely want to keep that on there for this light. So just a quick comparison to the HA20, which I have. This has been around a while. So it's got the kind of die-cast construction. It looks kind of similar, a little bit different shape. It's got two AA's, a little bit lighter. So if you don't want to go all the way to the HA40 with the extra battery pack, you may want to look at the HA20. A little bit cheaper, been around a while, and so this mount is quite beefier, I would say, in comparison. So maybe it would have been nice to see a little bit thicker mount for the HA40. And the HA40, by the way, is pretty much a clone of the HC70, which has an external 2x18 650 pack, which is more of a belt clip since it's even bigger. So they're pretty much identical except for the battery pack. New this time around, I did some actual testing of the performance. I've been getting questions about performance here and there and been kind of wanting to get into that. And so recently I got some sensors to log lux over time. And so I was able to test this light on turbo and high using both types of batteries, nickel metal hydride and alkalines. And so I used the Eneloops, and then I used Amazon Basics, which were actually pretty good. It seemed to perform really well. And check the link below in the description for a link to my chart so you can see the runtime. I have a copy of it right here, and hopefully it shows up. It looks like this. The blue and green is the nickel metal hydride, and the yellow orange is alkaline. And you kind of see that the turbo is always very spiky, and so that goes down as immediately once it's activated. And the nickel metal hydride, sort of about 7 minutes and 40 seconds, and the alkaline is about 6-ish minutes on turbo. And then you notice that they actually stay pretty steady from what I saw. The output's nice and even, so that's kind of nice. Even though you have this really large drop, which is kind of expected, it does maintain its output for a long time, and then it kind of has a final drop. So I was pretty impressed at how flat these were. I'm still new to this, and let me know if I made any faux pas here. I measured my run times to the 10% mark from the initial output at 30 seconds. So that's what these red things are here. I measured the nickel metal hydride runtime on turbo to be about 2 hours and 50 minutes, which was way more than what's on the box. Basically, they say it's about 1 hour, and so that's kind of, they say it's based on some sort of calculation, but yeah, if you're using Eneloop batteries, I just use the basic white ones. You should get some really good performance out of it. And of course, that 1,000 lumens isn't for the whole time. It's just for that initial beginning. So yeah, that's a little bit about what I did. Be sure to check out my review for all that information. I tested the max temperature, and the light output on here is definitely constant current. I checked for that, and the strobe mode, and it's once a second. So yeah, so if I missed anything, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll get to that as soon as I can. I can take some more time to look at it. Oh yeah, another thing too, the light doesn't really pop out, so it's stuck there so if you're left-handed, you're probably going to have the cord in the way a little bit. So that's just another thought I remembered. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.